Welcome to Season 2 of Trap Talk.
Brought to you by Craigoff.
Welcome back to another episode of Trap Talk. I'm your host, Zach Nannini. I'm here with my co-host, Richard Marshall Jr., and we've got our good friend, Leo Brand. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Good to be here.
Well, thank you. Well, Rick, would you mind doing the honors of introducing Leo to our show for the listeners that might not know of all his great accolades and his current 2024 ring wins?
Yep, that's what this show's about, is the ring series. So, and Leo is are you in junior gold or junior? You're junior.
Was junior gold now.
Well, you're junior gold now, but when you won the rings, you were junior, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so young kid. So Leo started shooting in 2019. He's from Champlin, Minnesota. Okay, he shot, I guess started in 19, didn't shoot a lot that first year, but every year since then, he's shot roughly about 55,000 registered targets combined, okay? But he's been a 5-time ATL American. He's been on the Minnesota State team. He's won one Minnesota State singles championship, and he's doubled that winning the clay target and the Grand American Handicap. So 2 world championships and only 1 state championship. And at a young age, those 2, I always say the Grand Handicap and the clay target are the 2 hardest to win by far at the Grand.
I think so too.
Muscled through them and won the clay target after 2 days of shoot-offs, right? I think it did.
Yep, 2 days.
So went through 2 days and then had a lone 99 in the Grand American Handicap. Yeah. In some tough conditions on Saturday for sure. So welcome to the show, Leo.
Thank you.
Well, Leo, one thing I'd like to know is what started you in the journey of trap shooting? You know, obviously you're a very high accolade shooter, but what got you into it and why do you love it so much?
Well, it kind of started out with, Dad, he shot out, just league rounds at the local gun club. No ATA, had no idea. We met a buddy of ours that did do ATA, or his kid did ATA, and I started in trap shooting because he said, he told me a visual if you could turn the target inside out and make them disappear when you shoot the target. So I thought that was always kind of cool. So I kind of started shooting and started with the 20 gauge, like every other kid does. And I moved on to Beretta 400, shot high school league from 6th grade on, ended last year. And then Dad's mentor, after he was able, he got us into trap shooting. We were able to start in 2019, and then we started traveling. I think we went to, I can't remember what my first state shoot was, but I think it was either Nebraska, South Dakota, something like that. I don't think it was Minnesota. But we got on that, went to that state shoot. We met really nice people, especially in Nebraska. I mean, we wish we could be there this year, but our state shoot was, during the same time. And we just liked it. We fell in love with it. I mean, good people. It's always fun to go out and shoot, meet new people on the trap line. It's just a fun sport, and everybody's kind and honest, and fell in love with it, started traveling. I mean, we always wanted to beat our old scores, so we kept on shooting. I mean, that's kind of how it goes for us.
So was your dad shot then just the same amount of time? But he shot years ago, didn't he?
Yeah, he shot quite a bit of years ago. Not as much, I don't think, as we did now.
Mm-hmm.
But he did do some ATA. He did go to Vandalia, the old Grand, maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
Can't remember, but no, his good mentor and his friend, they got us into trap shooting, and we started up and fell in love with it ever since.
So were you self-taught then? Your dad? Is that okay?
Dad taught me from 6th grade on, starting with that 20 gauge and working our way up. A lot of practice.
How long do you think it took for you to become like an average trap shooter to a proficient trap shooter? Like, obviously there was a year where it flipped and you really started winning a lot of stuff. So when did that happen, and what were the things that changed?
I would say through the years of trap shooting, started 20 gauge, shot like 17, 18s, decent scores. Moved up to a 20 gauge and started shooting 20s, 21s, 22s. And then probably half a year later, shot my first 25, something like that. And then we really started to practice. We got a routine down. We got the gun to fit right. We got the right alignment. Holding a little bit below the target, shooting it. And over practice, I just got better and better, and each milestone past the next, and you just gotta keep working your way up. I can't remember exactly when, but it's kind of a process we took, and here we are now.
Yeah, here you are. Here you are, a two-time world champion. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that just shows like how old are you now, Leo?
18.
So you said you started at what age?
6th grade, whatever that is. As soon as you can get your firearm.
Like 12?
12, 13 probably.
12,
Yeah, so just to kind of show the people how much success they could have, like you could be listening to the show right now, never have shot a gun before, and in 6 years, based on Leo math, you could get 2 world championships.
Hey, if you take your time and you do it right, you can get anything done.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I mean, because you haven't had a very long career, but you've had a very successful one where you've been winning and winning and winning. I guess, you said put in the work and get the gun fit the right way. Was your dad helping you with that a lot, or were you kind of saying this is how I want it, or what did that journey look like?
It was a lot of, kind of based off what we listened to a lot of people's stories. We kind of got down how they shoot. We took what we wanted out of there. We didn't copy them exactly. Kind of took what we wanted out of there, and then we put it to ourselves. So we mount the gun, get the eye alignment right down the barrel. We kind of like our percentages 80-20, just under that target. And then we kind of stuck with it. And then over the years, as I've grown and started to see more and more targets, I like my point of impact to be a little bit higher. Now, I
Okay.
kind of stopped doing the patterning board because I don't know why, but I just kind of stopped. So whenever I
Yeah.
feel like I'm shooting over the targets or under them, I just add another spacer.
Okay.
And it seems to work its way up into what I feel comfortable.
Yeah, because correct me if I'm wrong, but based on your email, I'm assuming you shoot a Perazzi MX3.
Yep.
So
The old Dave Kelly model.
yeah, Dave Kelly, Dan Benitez. I mean, a lot of great shooters have shot those guns with a lot of success. I know Sean Hawley did a long time ago.
Great
I
shot.
shot one. That was my first gun.
Yeah, I mean, my dad shoots one currently. I shot one for a little while. I mean, they're great guns, and they're non-adjustable top single guns. So for you, you're just using more washers and creating space in between the beads to
Yep.
get the point of impact that you want.
Yep. Without,
So-
yeah.
How much space do you see between the beads now, do you think?
Yeah, I haven't mounted the gun in a while, but I would say there's a good distance in between them. When I first started out, they were pretty flat, and then as I started to shoot more and more, I like the perception a little bit better.
So
So,
you're
Okay.
just shooting off the end of the barrel is what you're doing basically. Just
Yeah,
looking at the target and
I mount the
shooting.
gun, look out, see the target, go shoot it. I mean,
Yeah.
try to keep it as
Yeah.
simple as possible.
Yeah, for me, I mean, and just talking about experience of what I see, like when I see a lot of gap, like a lot of times my eyes tend to look in that center spot in between the space. But it sounds like you're just so focused on the target that you're not even really paying attention to where the gun is. You're just looking at the target, focusing on it, locking on, and shooting instinctively. Is that correct?
Yeah, most of that is correct. Yep.
When you're doing it right, right?
Yep. If you're doing it right.
All right, folks, we got to take a quick second and give a huge shout out to our title sponsor, Craigoff. Me and Ricky both shoot him. We both love him.
Yeah, best gun in the industry. I shoot them, I sell them. Nothing better, folks. Get yourself a Craigoff, your scores will increase.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky's got hundreds and hundreds of hundreds with his. I mean, I've got a few hundreds, but I'm always working to get a little bit better, and they definitely help me, that's for sure. So on top of that, we also got to thank Winnig. I'm wearing the shirt today. Love this shirt. If you're down at the Grand, pick one up.
Yeah, winning, like I said, Zach, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds with my winning stock. Get a hold of Bobby, Luke, Bill, get an appointment set up. They will make you a better shooter with that winning stock.
Of course, yeah, the Grand's the great place to do it. Give them a call, get on their book. It's worth your time.
Just remember, winners shoot winnings.
With that being said,
Let's get back to the show.
So I know you said you like to be under and kind of you listen to some hold points of some other great shooters. Are you similar to me and Ricky where you're like on the house? Are you like other shooters where you're above the house? Or what? If you could walk us through your singles and your doubles and your handicap techniques, what are your hold points and like what are you doing in your process?
So my whole points on singles is right at the trap house, and I kind of split the trap house into 5 sections, and then hold on those certain sections depending on what post you're on. So like post 1, you'll be on the corner, and post 5, you'll be on that corner, and then just
Okay.
split it up that way. But when I'm out the gun, line the beads up, and then look past my barrel, and then when I look past my barrel, I call pull. And then when I see that target, I make a movement to the target, and then when I see it as a full target, I pull the trigger. But instinctively over time, it's not passing the bird or not short shooting it, taking my time seeing that target. And handicaps, I do the same exact thing. I hold right on the house, I look out, and I think it was the Grand, I finally figured out how to shoot handicaps. I mean, if you look at my average beforehand, it was like 86, nothing great. But I figured out where to look and just kept doing the same thing over and over again, and that worked. And for doubles, I always shoot right bird first, so I really don't have a hold point. I just kind of see where that target comes out, and I hold in that general direction, and I make a slight movement up. And when I make that slight movement up, I pull the trigger. I'm already looking for that second target to go
Yep.
for.
So you're like Sean Hawley, as in you always shoot the right bird first.
Yep.
So did you decide to do that because of a guy like Sean, or did you just decide that's what you wanted to do, and then you figured out other people do that?
Well, somebody told me to try it that way when I was down in what was it? I think it was Arizona. I think somebody told me, hey, just try the right bird first, And the first time I tried that, I think I shot 100. My first 100, I think I shot right bird first.
Well, I guess it worked.
You're like, I'm in. This is good.
I think it's my first one. I don't know for sure, but yeah, I shot 100.
We need a disclaimer, folks. It doesn't always work that way, but that's our disclaimer for the day. You can't always just Leo brand it every time you try something new, but I'm glad it worked for you, Leo.
Yep. And I was just too afraid to switch back, so I kept it that way.
So I heard you say that you didn't shoot handicap very well, and then something clicked and it started working for you. If you could put yourself in the mindset of what you were feeling when you broke that 99 and won the Grand American Handicap, what were the things that you were doing that you were consciously focusing on to keep yourself breaking those targets?
So it kind of started at the beginning of the shoot. I wasn't shooting like I thought I could earlier, so we moved my butt pad a little bit, like because I grew a lot since I had my wing made, which was like 5 years ago, and I changed a lot since then. So I was like, should probably change it now. So I moved it down like an inch and a half, maybe. Like it made a big difference, and I had my confidence back. So that mental game of confidence really helped.
Yep.
And throughout the shoot, I think I had two events. I had a 99 go in the last box, and I dropped 3 for a 96. So during the Grand American Handicap, I was like, just chill out. Somebody's probably gonna break 100, so you don't just shoot the rest. And having that mindset of staying calm and doing the same thing over and over again. And towards the last target, I finally realized what I was doing. I was gonna break a 99. That point, I really had to remember the night before when I shot the singles. Staying calm, do the right thing, don't move past the target, do the same thing over and over again. And I did it, and it worked out. And just having that right hold point, the right eye look, or wherever you look your eyes at, whatever that's called.
I hold, eye look, yeah.
I hold eye
How
look.
how high is your eye hold eye look? I mean, would you say you're pretty high above the gun, or what would you say in a measurement to give the listeners?
Shit, I just figured out that shoot. I would say probably pretty close to where you see the target as a full target would be a good.
So you're
area.
probably, if your eyes, you're probably about 4 feet over the house then.
Yeah, somewhere around there, wherever you see the target clearly.
So you have that gun drop down into the house where it's not obstructing the target angle at all,
Yep.
and then you have your eyes up where that target starts to become a hole,
Yep.
3-4 feet, somewhere in that zone.
That sounds about right for me. Yeah.
And then once you see it become a hole, are you just driving in as hard as you can, or what's the move from that point?
Yeah, I kind of had to tell myself to get into the gun a little bit, kind of not jab at it, but push into the target. And when I started doing that, pushing into the target, I stopped overpassing them, stopped undershooting them. And station 5 and station 1 was a really big problem, under them, over them. So I just locked my eyes on that target and pushed towards that target. And that really helped me a lot. Is that mindset of visualizing me pushing into that target. That's what really helped me there.
Made a difference for you. Now, so in the grand handicap, what target did you miss?
I don't know. Second box, maybe?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you ran the last 50.
Yep.
And I know
Yeah.
that day it was windy, targets
Yeah.
were up and down,
I
you
guess
know.
I didn't even notice none of that. Like,
Yeah.
I was surprised nobody else came in with the 99 or 100. I was like, this is a perfect day to shoot. I don't know why.
Well, I seen your score when it came in, and someone said, "Oh," and I was like, "I don't think there's going to be 100. I just don't." The way, because we were out driving around, and of course Ryan Glow broke 97 that day, and I knew he, won or was going to win the all around for his first, championship because you won your first the day before, with the clay target, and because who'd you end up? It was you and. Um, God, what's his? Is it Gates?
Michael Gates for singles.
Michael Gates, yeah, from Oklahoma. Good, nice young man.
Yep.
So there's two junior shooters out there. Is he a junior or was he a sub junior?
Junior, I
He was
believe.
a junior,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, junior.
Good kid. I mean, both of you guys. So it was kind of interesting to see that, and because originally it was you two and Pat Stacy,
Yep. Yep.
and I told Pat, I go, Pat, you had their age together, and it doesn't even equal half of yours.
That's messed up.
Doesn't add up to the years he's been shooting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right, folks, we got to take another quick break and thank some more sponsors. Shot Tracker. I mean, we've had great success with them. Ricky, you've been involved since day one, so
It's like having a coach on the end of your barrel. It's a great tool, especially for doubles. That's what I really like it for. You can see the transition moving from the first target to the second target. That's where a lot of people get lost in no man's land, losing that target.
I love that, and I also love the new software update, the stuff that's coming down the
Yes.
pipe. Those guys are constantly innovating. So, with that being said,
Let's get back to the show.
the handicap started to improve. Obviously, you figured some things out, some confidence. I know that you take fitness very seriously. How much do you think your fitness journey and kind of working out and all that stuff played into a factor into your success in this grand?
Well, I was kind of thinking about this earlier. It didn't really come to mind until later. First, I wasn't upset, but a little disappointed. Not disappointed. I don't know what the right word for it is, but I was kind of the first night. I was like, why can't we keep going? It's only 200 targets. We just ran 200 targets. Why can't we keep going? I was like, I can do it. Can you? Type of deal. So I really wanted to keep going, but I get it. It's the rules. We stopped. So, but I think there's kind of three things that go into fitness. There's discipline, there's mindset, and then there's consistency.
Yep.
So mindset's really big in the trap shooting. Doing the same thing over and over again, staying in it, not getting bored. Keeping your focus. Discipline would be practicing. Once, two times a week, practicing right. Don't just go out there and shoot targets. Go out there every day, try your best, do your best. And what was the other one? Mentality. Um, Mentality going out there, not worrying about what the other person shooting next to you. Don't worry about the scores. Shoot your targets and don't worry about anybody else. It's you out there, nobody else.
Yep.
Afterwards, of course, you can congratulate everybody, and
Yeah.
then it's about other people. But when you're up there, it's you and the target.
Well, I mean, because I know I've called you when I called you the other day to get you scheduled on the show. You were at the gym. I could hear the plates banging around, and I'm like, Leo's in the gym again. I mean, you're always in the gym working. And do you think that having that dedication to your personal fitness has helped your shooting game specifically? I mean, it probably can't hurt anything, right?
No, it can't. It's from what I've learned from fitness is, I mean, you guys started it. I mean, you guys started walking every day, and I read up on books, listen to podcasts all on fitness, and doing your cardio, doing your weight training. It's more than just the way you look. It's how your brain works and how it focuses, and there's a lot of things that go into it. And I think it really helps cognitively, with your brain. It helps physically, out there standing up all day, being hydrated. I think it does help. You just gotta find what works for you, and how you can tie it into the sport.
Yeah.
Is there anything you're doing from a dietitian standpoint or a supplement standpoint, a hydration standpoint, going into these big shoots like the Grand that you can tell makes a big difference for you?
Well, we take hydration quite a bit. I mean, if you ever see me running around, I probably got a gallon jug in the front side of my scooter. That's filled up with hydration supplements that are full of potassium, magnesium, salt, and some other supplement that's part of the hydration. Part of electrolytes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are big. Honestly, Gatorade and Powerade don't have much of those if you look at it.
Yep.
So
It's all
supplementation,
sugar water. It's all sugar water and dye.
yeah. So liquid IV, any other supplement you can find at your local, supplement store. I think that's very helpful. Also just doing your cardio on like I don't do much cardio, I'll be honest with you, but it helps brain function. Wake up early, get ready for the day, do a little walk. It helps. It really does. And hydration is key, especially it dries out your eyes if you don't have good hydration. That's what you need to shoot.
That's a very good point right there, Leo. And Zach and I have been talking about this lately with the hydration, with the electrolytes and stuff. Is your eyes? I just came back from New Mexico. Just flew in today from teaching a youth class down there, and it was hot and very dusty. And I mean, I was on my feet as I am, and Zach see me in the classes. I mean, I sit down a little bit, but I walk about usually 8 to 10,000 steps in a class, and I probably went through 14 bottles of water
Yeah.
easily and didn't have to go to the bathroom. And that's what I can tell, and I just, but the hydration, and that's something that, we'll discuss, later on this season about some things we got coming up. But people need to make sure they stay hydrated, because if you don't stay hydrated, you can't see. And what do you need to shoot? The eyes,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
and it's really important. And every year at the Grand, unfortunately, we see somebody go down due to heat,
mhm.
excessive heat and lack of hydration. And it's sad because we're all there doing something we love, but every year somebody basically passes out. And I think at some level, I'm sure that has to do with other things too, but I think hydration's got to play a big proponent to it, and you just got to work on getting yourself ready. All right, guys, we got to take another quick break and thank some more sponsors. We got to say big thank you to White Flyer, America's best targets. You make them, we break them, right, Rick?
That's right. We got the new Eco flyer that we helped design, myself and Sean Hawley. That's out now, available out of the Georgia factory. That's an awesome target. Look for that. Going to be available hopefully everywhere by 2025. But yeah, they are best target in the industry.
I'm looking forward to the Blue-Gray Shootout this year at the Grand too. That's going to be a fun event.
Yeah, it'll. You're in that too this year, aren't you, Zach?
We both are, aren't we?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm in it. I didn't know if you made it or not.
See, yeah, that's okay. I skated right in there. Don't you worry. But we got another sponsor we got to thank.
Yep.
Shotguns West, the Pilas, baby. Check out these wings. Ricky don't got these. He ain't that stylish.
Oh, folks, listen. Zach tries to wear these driving down the road, doing podcasts. It's okay. We still love it.
When you look good, you don't have to apologize. Remember that. Not only can you hit more targets, but you can look good doing it. Give Ryan a call.
That's right.
With that being said,
let's get back to the show.
It sounds like you did a lot of training and in your life, prepare mentally for all this stuff. We talked about the Grand American Handicap. Let's talk a little bit about the clay target. I mean, when you went in there and you did break that first 200 after your 200 straight, and you were kind of upset a little bit that you couldn't keep going. Did it go another night or 2 nights, or kind of what was the story on that, and what was your mindset as you were doing it? Because I mean, at that point, you hadn't won a ring yet. I mean, this was prior to you had 0 rings. So going into that shoot off with 0 rings, how did you deal with those emotions in the game time?
So that first night after we got done, I was a little upset that I mean I knew it was the rules, but I was a little upset. So I kind of blew it off. I was like, okay, whatever, it's the rules. I can't be mad at that. And then the next day, I kind of blocked it out for a while. I focused on the handicap. I did not do well. Shot an 84 that day. But after that, I got myself ready. I went down to the practice trap and I practiced like I was going to shoot. I stood there. It probably took 5, 6 seconds a shot. Shoot, pretend there's the next person shooting me, get ready, and shoot. So I really took my time, practiced my pre-shot routine, and then going into the shoot-off, I mean, I've been there before, and I know not many people have. So because I've been there before, it helped me out a lot. I was
Yeah.
able to just realize it's just another shoot, it's just another target. I just gotta keep on going. If I'm gonna win this, I gotta lock in and keep on going. Can't let emotions get to me. Just be ready, go out there and shoot. So just kind of being relaxed, but not too relaxed,
Yeah,
in that mindset of shoot the target.
So
that's wonderful.
how many more did you guys go the second night?
175 maybe?
Okay.
150?
So were you prepared? And I know it didn't happen, but were you prepared mentally, or were you thinking about it at all? Like, okay, if we go another 200, are we quitting?
Nope.
Or that
I was
never
ready
even?
to go all night. Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know because I mean that is the rules.
Yep.
I wish they would switch it and say shoot to completion, because I'm like you. I'm like, hey man, if you're gonna win this,
Let's keep going.
today's the day. Let's get her done. And I've been in several shoot offs there, and one year we did go 3 something the first night, and then it got so late it was like 1:30 in the morning. They
Yep.
finally were just like, guys, we gotta quit. The neighbors are gonna,
Yeah.
and such. But was it did Michael miss early in your box, or did he miss real late?
Last target.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
so
That's
he
a
missed,
silver
and then you
silver
had to
platter.
shoot, or did you shoot and then he missed?
So the kind of story on that box is we were going last post. He was 1, he was 2, I was 4. And he missed his last target, and I stood there in disbelief. I was like, oh shit, one target. Oh, one target. and and then it kind of hit me like it's one target. It's just one target. You got to hit it, and it's all yours. Now, another part of that was I already had 2 flinches on me, so I couldn't flinch again because I got a or a flinching problem where I can't pull the trigger sometimes. And you know that. I mean, I lost a shoot off with you in Iowa due to
Yeah.
that. And so it was a big mindset where I couldn't flinch and I had to hit the target. So 3 years ago, when I shot the clay target, it was Patrick Lamont, Peyton the Tavernier, one other guy, I wish I knew his name, and it was me. We all missed on the same box, but Pat didn't. And Pat didn't miss because he took his time and he got set back in and he shot the target. So I kind of took that back into what I did was whoever was there watching can say that, I mean, I took 10, 15 seconds to shoot that target. I think I mounted the gun. I was like, I got to put it back down. So I put it back down, rested a little bit, and feel my heart rate go down. Okay, here we go. I was shaking when I shot that target for sure. I was like, it's just going to
Well, I bet.
That's gonna happen. That is part of shooting, and it's controlling that and getting through it and such. And yeah, that is devastating. I mean, I've won some shoots where guys have missed the last target, and then I'm standing there like, same deal, like, oh, and then it sets in like
Yep.
you have to break this target.
How long did it take for you from when he missed it to you actually taking that shot? I mean, did it feel like a year, or like what? How long was it realistically?
It felt like 2 minutes, but it was like 20 seconds.
Okay, but it felt like a long time.
Yeah, it felt like a long time.
I mean, because I would think I'd probably remount that gun about 16 times before I finally called pull. I mean, it was just like
That could have been like,
yeah. All right, Trap Talk listeners, let's take a couple seconds and thank a couple more sponsors. First of all, Remington's been with us since day one. I've been shooting these shells since 2007. I shoot the Nitro 27 from the 27-yard line, ounce and eighth, 7.5, and STS ounce and eighth, eighths for singles and doubles. They've worked great for me, as they do a lot of top shooters all around the country. Give them a try. Don't forget the Gun Club line when you're practicing and you're wanting to save a little bit of money.
We'd also like to thank another sponsor, Outlaw Engineering. Randy Freston, R2. I've known Randy since 1988. They do engineering, surveying, drafting, GIS, civil, structural, land development, wetland permitting. They do
and
it
they're
all.
friends of trap shooters. I mean, they're a trap shooting family. They've been in the ATA forever. His dad's been involved. They're involved. They're a beautiful family. They're great people. And we just love that they listen to the show, and we love that they support Trap Talk.
Yeah, his dad was past president in 1989. So I really want to thank those guys for the support and really appreciate it here at Trap
With
Talk.
that being said,
let's get back to the show. Well, and Leo, going back to what you said, since you brought it up, because there was a lot of discussion about the flinches and such, and people, because we weren't there with the double shoot off was going on, and I was watching, and someone said this, that, and the other, but yeah, I know. Go back to last year when we were shooting off at Iowa. You had 3 failure to fires, and of course the third one was a lost and such because of the flinching. Is that just something that you're not shooting a release trigger, right?
Nope.
So is it a vision flinch? What's getting you most of it? Is that what it is?
Yeah. So I still haven't down to a T yet, but what I figured out is some of it's a visual flinch. So it's not even a slow pull because my home gun club is all hand pull, so I'm used to that. I mean, I can shoot that all day long.
Yeah.
And so it's more just like I don't know what it is. I don't know if my barrel covers the target, but it's a visual flinch where I'm not ready to shoot that target. And some of it's a mental flinch where I'm thinking about what I'm going to have for lunch later that day. And I don't know what it is, but I just can't.
You're thinking about racking plates.
Yeah. So thinking about what I'm going to do at the gym afterwards, and then I'm like, oh, fuck. Do I go shoot?
Well, and that's why I wondered, because there were some people, of course, rumors start, and that's why, and I talked to a gentleman that was there the whole time and said, no. And it happened to be your referee. And he's like, nope. He just had the 2 failure to fires on whatever rounds. There was never 3. Because that's what people said. Oh, he had 5 failure to fires, blah, blah, blah. And I said, guys, I know the referee. And
I think that's a very legitimate thing. I mean, if you're flinching, I mean, it happens. And the fact that you could recover from that and you can go through and still win the shoot off, dealing with that just shows how mentally tough you are, because I know I've seen some people get shaken up by that, and like they kind of lose it. They're like, oh, was it going to happen again? Is it going to, So are you thinking that you're going to stick with the pull trigger, or do you think you'll ever go release based on that?
I mean, I'm not going to go jump to release unless I have 3 failure fires on every box.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to switch until I have to.
You can keep running it for a long time.
Yeah. I got some ways around it. I can deal with it for a while, and hopefully it doesn't catch up to that. But I've always been a big supporter of the rules of the game, and
yeah. Well, the deal is with the release. I mean, here's the deal. If you have to go to one, you do. I know a lot of people, and I work with a lot of people that shoot them. But the one thing that, for our listeners out there too, that might be having the same problem you're having, Leo, is, I always say a lot of the flinching is visual, because you're not seeing it properly. So always making sure that your setup's right. And that's because, I mean, even some kids I taught this weekend did some weird stuff, and it was because they're like, well, that target was weird. I'm like, that's because you didn't see it properly.
Yep.
And they were like, oh, yeah. And that's one of the biggest things. So, maybe just making sure, not thinking about what you're going to have for lunch. Yeah. Think about eating the target,
grinding it.
So that target.
So we talked about your hold points. We talked about your mental game. We talked about the pressure of, the clay target. And I guess you had, now won a ring going into Sunday's handicap, knowing that you already had one ring, or Saturday's handicap, knowing that you already had one ring in the bag. Did that make it a little easier to finish that day? Like, did you feel momentum off of winning one that helped you win the other, or what was that experience? Because not many times people win 2 like that.
Right. I was too happy to win the singles. I could care less about the handicap.
So you just shot, just
I was out
rolling
there
through
shoot. I never thought once that this is the Grand American handicap. I just thought of it as a 100 handicap. Shoot the target, go shoot the target. It's not the Grand American handicap.
See target, shoot target.
See target.
Yeah, me see target, me shoot target.
Yep. Do the right steps and shoot the target. Yeah.
I'd get my little line in on Zach because that's what Zach made a comment one time. But that is true, Leo.
Hey, Trop Talk listeners, let's take a quick second to thank a couple more amazing sponsors. SOS Clay Shoot Management, they're doing a fantastic job. I love the app. I love being able to see everything on my phone instantaneously. It's freaking awesome. Rick, what do you think?
Yeah, Greg Pink and his group over there. I mean, they've got majority of the satellite grands, majority of the state shoots. I think it's 40 plus state shoots they're doing. But the app, honestly, we were doing a little beta testing with that at the Spring Grand. It's awesome. You can see your squad if they paid. You know, you can see your options, your payouts. The whole works at your fingertips. Great deal. They're just
Ricky knew how much money he made before he even got off the line. He was like, hey, I'm buying lunch. I'm like, yeah, good job. We're good to go.
That's
we
right.
also got gun and trophy insurance. I mean, they're the best in the business. I know they're great price. Ricky, you're familiar with them, right?
Yeah, Cole and Larry Cushman been long-time supporters of myself, and I've been a supporter of them, and, you know, especially with my college team. You know, we require insurance. It's so fast and easy to sign up and get your insurance in literally 10 minutes. You can have your guns insured, and they're just great. They're great to deal with. Like I said, you can do your trophies also, you know, your wildlife animals and that such, and your guns. It's just a great
It's always good when you're traveling around to have that peace of mind and know that you don't have to worry about losing your stuff forever. And these are expensive things, especially when you got those Krieg-Offs. You got to keep them insured. So,
exactly.
With that being said,
let's get back to the show. And you put it as just another event. Mm-hmm. Because you were excited about winning the clay target, which, like I said, clay target's actually, I think, probably the hardest one.
I think it's the hardest one. I mean, it's the hardest one because you gotta
the grand, then the overall, the all around, and the overall can actually be up there as one of the hardest.
Overall,
you know, but it is
because you can't have any bad events. But I mean, you could win the overall and technically not run anything. I mean, I think the clay target. You got to run the 200, and then you got to go another 200. And like the amount of people that, I mean, if you look at the ATA as a whole and you look at people that shoot singles, the amount of people that have the talent to win the clay target is so vast. Yeah. Where when you look at the amount of people that have the talent to shoot all three guns well, there's not a lot of people that shoot singles, handicap, and doubles well, consistently. And so, you know, it might be hardest to win because of that attribute. But, I mean, really, I think there's only 15 or 20 guys that you really have to worry about that can shoot all three guns at once consistently for a whole week. Yeah. And then you look at doubles, and the group gets even smaller. Like, there's just not as many great double shooters out there in perspective to singles. But, I mean, you've got these young people now that just started in the game, and they're running 6, 7, 8, 900 straight, and they're acting like it's nothing. They don't even – I mean, they're not even phased. And I think the level of, you know, confidence from that young shooter in singles nowadays is just, you know, I mean, they're unfazed. They don't think it's a big deal to run them all. I mean, they're like, oh yeah, we hit them all. I'm like, Jesus,
all these kids
take
start
a break.
Out with singles. They don't ever start out with handicap and doubles. So they kind of learn from singles, and that's what they're good at because they always start out with singles.
Just pounding them things. So Leo, is there any other really good tips or advice you would give to young people? Because I know, you know, you're on the early end of your career. You know, you probably 2 rings now, but many more to come. I'm sure many more All-American teams, many more state titles. You know, what are some things that you would recommend to people that are your age or younger in the game?
Mentality would be a big one. I see a lot of kids up there, they're getting frustrated. They miss a target. I mean, you miss a target. You can't help it.
Yep.
Don't go chucking shells. Don't go, you know, having a hissy fit somewhere. I mean, just stay relaxed. Go shoot that target. Just try to beat your old score. You know, average is average. If you shoot your average, you're good. I mean, you didn't shoot bad. Mentality would be a big one. Be humble. I mean, it's a sport where you get humbled a lot.
Oh yeah.
That score day, you get humbled.
So, yeah, I mean, technically, even on the day that you won the clay target, you went out and shot an 84 in handicap. So that had to be humbling to kind of go out there and shoot that score and then know, okay, I got to go get back to business and win this ring, right? I mean, now, were you thinking, I want to win this ring, or were you just like, I need to hit as many as I can?
I didn't think I was going to win the ring. I mean, it's the Grand American. Was gonna be something that breaks 100. The thought in my mind, I was like, hey, I shot a 98. It's a great score for me. We'll see what happens. So it's really just worry about your score. Don't put too much stress on it.
One thing I did want to circle back on that I didn't touch on and I forgot, you said the night that you were going back out, the second night for the clay target, you said you broke that 84 in handicap and then you went and shot a round of practice. Did you shoot one round of practice or two, or what'd you do?
I shot 2 rounds because we go 50 in the shoot off. So I was like, if I shoot 25, I'm going to feel like I'm underprepared. So I'm just got to shoot the 50. And I just practice like I play, that old saying, practice like you play. So I'm out there and
practice like you compete.
Mm-hmm. So if you were to do it again, clay target again, I guess the first night you probably didn't practice because you just came off of running the 200, right? I mean, you just went right into it.
Yep.
And then the next night, I mean, regardless of how you're shooting, do you think you'd go in and shoot practice again before it on the next day?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Just kind of warming back up into singles. Don't go out of that handicap and jump right in.
Get into singles mode versus handicap mode.
Yeah, I don't want to get surprised out there when I see that first singles target,
oh, it's there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I actually went down and shot on the field that we shot off on. I went down on that end and shot the same visual background and did everything the same.
Well, it seemed to work for you. I mean, I'm taking note. I mean, I'm going to be like, shooting practice on Friday. Okay,
that's a good point, Zach. We'll give you a good point for that. So, Leo, what's your future plans right now? What do you got going on?
Right now I'm just working. I haven't shot much. I'm kind of helping out our old high school team. Dad's head coach, so I'm just kind of helping out there. After that, I think I'm going to go to a college for this semester, starting in January. And so I'd like it down there and see if I get any other offers after that, if it's worthwhile switching or not. And
so what can you say what school you're going to go to?
Iowa Western, possibly. Council Bluffs there.
Council Bluffs, Iowa, just 50 miles from me.
Don't want to spend too much money, but like to have some fun.
Yeah, well, and it's a good school. Yep. Their head coach is a great guy.
Met him, he's great.
Yep. So, and like I said, they got a lot of good shooters there. Yep. Now, what are you looking to go to school for?
Industrial tech. So kind of like all around, go get some experience and get into the workforce. Kind of, start working.
Nice.
That's wonderful, Leo. And it's great that you want to get educated. It's great that you want to work. It's also great that you have an ethic in the gym and you're competing at a high level, and you've done so much with so little time. I mean, 6 years of trap shooting in my mind isn't all that long. I mean, it's just it's a tight little window.
Seems like yesterday for me.
Yeah.
I think right now I'm on like 5 years of just joining back from the working force, right? Like, cause there's that little hiatus that you're probably going to experience when you get into that first job and you start, getting your feet wet. And there was a time there where I was, probably less than you, where it was just a shoot here and a shoot there, a couple hundred targets here, a couple hundred targets there.
Yep.
And, I came back, started shooting again, really shooting when COVID-19 happened. COVID-19, yeah. So that kind of made everyone go virtual, and it opened up a good little opportunity for Zach. So,
and I would say it don't take much to do good. I mean, if you look back on, I don't know if it was just the time I was in it, but when I was in sub-junior, I only went to 5 shoots, and if you make those 5 shoots worthwhile, you can make the All-American team. You can win some big trophies.
All right, folks, let's take a quick second and thank some brand new incoming sponsors of the show. These are personal friends of mine, fellow clay shooters, and lovers of the outdoors, Rick and Carla Burke at 73 Pointers Ranch. Rick, tell them what we're doing.
Well, we're doing a giveaway at the Grand American. So they've graciously donated a one-person hunt for, I think it's, 18 quail or 12 chucker or 8 pheasants. Your choice, guide and dog. We've got dinner, overnight, lodging, breakfast. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a great giveaway.
It's a great thing. It's valued at like $1,500. You can obviously bring a guest if you'd like, but, it's about an hour out of St. Louis Airport. And if you're lucky, maybe me and Rick will go out there with you and do some bird hunting, because this is an awesome place. It's a great time. And if you're local to this area it's not that far out of the city. So you can be in the office and then be hunting in the afternoon. So they're great, great people, and they love this show. So we really, really appreciate the love and support.
Yeah, we'd like to thank Rick and Carla. We really appreciate that.
Also, we've got Mid-State Precious Metals, Ron Prescott. He's a great guy for all your gold and silver needs. Ricky, tell them about our friend.
Yeah, Ron, he graciously donated a 10-ounce silver bar to our live in-person podcast in Tucson. And, you know, he has everything. I bought a bunch of silver from him. You know, we got our silver and gold for the fun day at the Nevada State Shoot on Monday this year. You know, John got all the silver and gold for the Nevada State Shoot. So look him up for your silver and gold needs. He'll give you the best price out there.
He really is, and he's a friend of the trap shooters. I mean, he's looking to get gold and silver to these gun clubs for their shoots at the lowest price across the country. He's doing them a service and helping grow the sport. So, you know, thank you so much for that, Ron.
Yeah, thank you, Ron. We appreciate it.
With that being said,
let's get to the show.
Yep. Yeah, you were beating up on him. I remember just a few years ago when I was coming back at the Heartland Grand, and you were just a little whippersnapper. You weren't pushing plates like you were. And I was shooting, and I was banging them, and I was banging the doubles pretty good every day. And I'm like, who's this Leo Brand cutting into my Lewis's? Like, what's this? Because you were there, and you were little. I mean, and then one year I seen you the next year, and it was like, boom, you grew a foot. And I'm like,
yeah, I was a little chubby, and then I started working out and worked out.
You weren't chubby. You were just small.
Yeah. No, I was.
You look good.
Now he's swole.
Yeah,
working on it.
You're doing good. I mean, it's good to have pride, and it's good to take care of yourself. And I think more people could take that example. More young people, especially. I think nowadays, it's becoming less and less of a priority. And and I've learned the hard way that you got to work on it. You got to work on it at some level. It's not easy, but well, Leo, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. You're an awesome young man, and we look forward to seeing great things from you, and we really appreciate you taking time out of your day to tell your story.
And Leo, is there anybody you want to thank out there?
Everybody. I can't pick. I mean, family, of course. Top tier, number one. And then after that, everybody that shook my hand after I won, everybody that said congratulations, everybody that was shooting on our squads. Can't pick out one person. Well, besides family, I can't pick out anybody else. I just thank you to all. I mean, everybody's been a great help, and it's great to see everybody come together.
You're a very humble young man, and I think you got a bright future. In shooting, workforce, whatever it is, with your mindset that you got, that's it'll show to a lot of our listeners, and because we got a lot of the young listeners out there too, that they're like, "Oh, here's a kid that was 17 and won 2 world championships," so, well, you're 18. Yeah, I'm sorry.
But yeah,
18. Hey,
17, 18. That's 32 years younger than me.
I like to say to the kids, I mean, I see all these kids running around trying to shoot as many targets as possible, which you don't need to. You just need to make those targets count,
That's right.
Hit what you shoot at.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to go as much. Yeah, no, and that's a great lesson. And I think we talked a lot about, in the last couple episodes, I mean, Ryan Glow talked about burnout, right? So I think these new shooters, they're putting this pressure of, I got to do this, and I got to do this, and I got to do this. And you almost can get to that burnout so much quicker than if you just focus on really making what you're going to, shoot count. And I think everybody's got a different level. Everybody's got a different level of burnout. So, Leo, we look forward to this again. I mean, I know you're going to do great things. We appreciate you being here, like I said, and we'll catch you in. For all our listeners, like, share, subscribe, keep checking in, keep wearing your hats, keep sharing the love, asking questions. And hey, if there's any great trap shooting legends or heroes that you know of that you want us to interview, send us emails, send us contact. We'll get them on the show. We're always looking for great people, and we're always looking to interview and document the history of our great sport. So thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you again next Friday.
And the Trap Talk podcast is brought to you in part by
RM Shooting Clinics. Have Ricky take your game to the next level. If you want to shoot hundreds, give Ricky a call today. Zach Nannini Financial. We believe in putting people first.